leather gloves, we're slapping in hams. Popcorn and peanuts, we're working the stands. Pink cotton candy, love on a stick. He's chasing the beer, the trick of the lips. Play ball, play ball. Load up the bases and smack it right over the wall.
Play ball.
Play ball.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Laughter Saves Lives.
Take off the
Live.
caps.
Oh my God!
Beautiful.
Shit.
I told you to do that.
No, but it didn't come
Massapequa,
up.
New York, beautiful Massapequa, New York. Facebook Live, Paradise Studios. We're here live.
Don't you think we should move over a little bit?
We should move to your left. Carol Montgomery came in for us tonight.
I know.
I can't thank you enough for making the
yeah,
trip.
Yeah.
No, I mean it.
You were welcome.
I mean it. I know it's
Getting
a
on
trip.
there with
Where'd
the-
you come from?
From Manhattan.
Get out of here. What
Yes.
for?
They were crazy
Oh.
getting on the train.
Hold
She
on,
did
I
a
gotta
favor
take
for
this.
I
me.
did a favor.
She did a favor for me because
Hello?
I like to interject. We just see, he just left the set to take a phone
The guy's
call.
nuts. The guy's nuts.
Well,
So-
he's wearing Mets shirts, so you know that's why he's crazy.
Yes.
Well,
All
I'm a
right,
Mets
so
fan too.
So now look at the balance now. Look at the balance
Now it
because
looks
he left.
horrible. That's terrible.
That looks terrible. Now what are we gonna do?
Well, you should slide over a little bit more too.
All right, I'm gonna slide over until he comes
That's
back.
perfect.
There you
That's
go.
So
Now
anyway,
he's not coming back.
No, it's
That's
been-
it. He's done.
He's done.
Fired.
I
Off.
had enough of him already. He's bashing our show.
So it's nice to bring Carol out here. I like to interject different comedians to bring a little different chemistry to the show.
Good idea.
You know what I mean? We bounce off of them differently, and well, it's fun. It's fun. We had Paul Bond here last week. I think Chris Monty's coming up on a coming week, but Carol's here.
You guys had a great show, by the way, last week with Paul Bond, and you guys had a good show.
That was a good show, right?
Yeah,
That was a good
enjoyed
show.
it. Yeah, enjoyed it.
So Carol's here tonight. And we're gonna do a little interview with Carol, but she's more here as a co-host. But we're definitely gonna talk about her product that's out there now. Women of a certain age. I have to apologize
Women
to her.
of a certain age?
Women of a certain age.
Have you not heard of this? I'm leaving.
Don't leave. Don't leave.
He's not. How have you not
Don't
heard of
leave.
the show?
I'm only.
I don't know.
Okay,
I
good.
don't know.
Because
He's
I was
busting.
going to have to hurt him.
He busts balls. That's what his job
Good.
is
Well,
here.
you know
That's
what?
what his job is.
You,
And Carol has the same job, so that's not.
you want to bust my balls? We will bust.
We
We will bust them back.
My balls are probably bigger, so
They might be.
they might be.
Carol,
All right,
how
yes.
long? I'm not going to tell you. I'm not going to ask you how old. Where the freak did he go? That's
I don't know.
amazing.
I think he's got diarrhea.
That's amazing.
Oh,
He said he
Just
had.
use the
He
phone as
said,
an
I think
excuse.
he ate at the Massapequa Diner before he came here.
yeah,
that's
we
our sponsor.
now. You don't get to come back now.
We just lost a sponsor. Did you hear that?
Jeez.
He said he has
I'm
diarrhea.
sorry.
He probably ate at the Massapequa Diner. He just said. We just lost another sponsor.
We just lost a sponsor.
You left.
Very sorry about
You know
that.
what?
He's
Had
allowed.
you come back with like
That was
a
my
Red
ha-
Sox
that was my-
outfit, that would have been funny, but no, you're back.
That
He's
was
allowed.
my son called me crying.
Oh, all right.
So
you
I
got to take
thought it
that.
was
You
Blame
got
it
to
on
take
the
that.
kid.
serious, but it was.
It was just the
a
TV, the
disagreement
remote.
Just
You can't
blame it
find the
on
remote.
with the daughter.
Blame it on the kid.
All right.
So
Carol,
my-
let's get
my
back
daughter
to
took
Carol.
charge.
Let's get back to
To
me.
Carol.
Oh, turn
Carol
it-
Montgomery, where are you from, Carol? Where were you born?
I
Where did
was
you grow
born
up?
in Brooklyn, New York.
You seem like a real
I
Brooklyner.
am a Brooklyn.
And
not the new Brooklyn, not the coffee.
What
No.
what part of Brooklyn?
Well, I grew up in Sheepshead Bay, and then I went to high school in Bensonhurst.
Oh, nice.
So I
Look
got
at
a little
you.
bit of, you know what I'm saying.
Yeah, no, I know what you're saying.
And you came all the way from Manhattan for this?
There
You
he
know
goes
what?
again.
I love him. He's a good
Oh,
man.
and I love
he
her.
asked me to do this,
But
and I
that
said
this
yes.
that's a big distance.
It is.
It's
It is.
it's New York City. Where are you living in the boondocks? It was an hour. It was an hour flight.
He's
ladies
very
and gentlemen.
uptight.
We
You know,
have
you know,
intentions
gotta
of bringing the
understand
show
him.
to the next level.
Yeah.
And bringing in co-hosts like this
Yeah,
will
but
only
she's
help.
big. She's really big. To
That's
make
why
her-
she's here.
To have her make the trip is huge.
So, Carol, before you
Yes.
embarked on
Embarked.
this Women of a Certain Age, we're going to talk about
Yes.
this production that you're putting on. That's amazing with all these very, very funny ladies. We've used some of them on Laughter Saves Live shows, and we'll continue to.
Yes.
How did you get into this comedy? Was that your what was your job?
Okay.
Did you have a job?
I never
before
had a
this?
job.
Come on.
No, I've been. You know what? First of all, I'm 60, so you all know that. I know I look really good.
What?
But yes. Can I say a nasty word on this show?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, of course.
It's the semen.
Not
So-
that word.
Okay. Well,
I didn't know that
already
was.
said
That word.
Why
Don't-
not semen?
I know we said it already, so it
All
doesn't
right.
matter.
So can
Yeah, we had a guy that
Now we have
worked
to
on
add
a
it to the
tugboat
list.
on the show once. Why can't we
Right.
have semen here?
Add, could you add semen to the list of words we're allowed to
Semen
say
is
now?
allowed. That's the whole. It's
Go
my
ahead.
skin regimen.
Which
anyway,
wants us to shift over?
No, I've been doing stand-up it'll be 40 years this year. Do I look to the
Wow.
camera? I just looked.
You've done semen
Wherever
for
you
40
want.
years.
Whatever you want, but the camera's
You're
there.
the
That's the
camera's the one
monitor.
down
We
there.
always make that mistake.
I started in 1979
Wow.
at Sheepshead Bay at a place called Pips.
I was there.
Okay,
Pips,
and
yeah.
David Brenner used to be there, and,
Yeah.
Oh,
and
yeah.
Joan Rivers started there, and then the gentleman that I started with
It was.
Richie Jenny,
Look at you throwing names out there.
and a young man named Andrew Silverstein.
Yes, who
who
was?
was
What is it?
Dice.
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 Oh, I did.
yeah.
I did a set there one night with Dice.
How can you
Yeah,
not know
and he
Dice?
was Andrew.
How can he not know Dice?
Well, he doesn't. Look.
He knows
leave
Dice.
him.
I know who Dice is. I don't know who Andrew Silverstein.
Yeah, well, Andrew
Dice?
Silverstein. Andrew Silverstein was an impressionist.
Andrew
Right.
Dice.
He
He
did
was
Jerry
an
Lewis,
impression-
right?
He
Didn't
did. He
That's what he
does
did
the
before
best Jerry Lewis
Is that
ever.
amazing?
And then the Dice character was him doing Fonzie. And that became the impression that everybody
didn't know that.
loved, and that's why he became Dice.
Wow.
The history of comedy with Carol
Right.
Montgomery.
That's why we
This
have
is
you
good.
here.
This is interesting.
Wow.
I'm enjoying this. I like this.
All right. So you started way back when.
Way back when in 1979.
Okay. And then what was your? Did you have a claim to fame? Like, did you have something that was like, oh, I was on this show, or I did this, or I was on VH1?
You mean-
Anything, Carol? Give me something. Give me something.
I've done a lot of television.
There you go.
So,
Let's leave it at that.
but I mean, when I started out, I didn't. I mean, I was just a young comic, like everybody who
Right,
starts out in
right.
stand-up, and learned to, 5 minutes, 5 minutes, 5 minutes. Got an act together, started going on the road and featuring and headlining, and then my first TV break was Comic Strip Live.
Very nice.
TV.
Wow.
With John Mulrooney.
Wow.
John
Wow.
Mulrooney was the host.
Wow.
Very nice.
And so I did that a couple of times, and then I've done a ton more. But
So you've been a comic a long
I've been,
time.
but I've been a comic since I was 21.
All right.
So I never had
'Cause
a
I started
job.
when I was 33, maybe 32.
Wow.
Wow.
I got you all beat. I started when I was 16.
Yeah, but
Really?
you took a break, right?
I was in the high school talent show. Then my first appearance at Governor's was actually 30 years this month.
Wow.
89.
So he's been doing it a while too.
Long time.
I
So
started when I was
before
48, 49,
Hey, Dangerfield started when he was 40.
53.
Oh,
Wow.
Rodney started at 40. I'm telling you.
before we get into the women of a certain age, just wanted to get, because sometimes we bring a guest on, she sits here for a while, we don't even talk to her. Get back to our
Oh,
week.
she's not gonna let that happen.
You want some water? Hey, listen, you know what I've been doing the last few days, and I'm just exhausted right now. I just wanted to sit here and listen to the three of you guys. That's how
But you
tired I
haven't
am.
shut up since you said.
I know.
If you let Carol
Take over.
lead
I
talk,
will
it would be
take
fine.
over.
I know you
I
will.
will take over for you.
So I wanted to talk about a few things.
Yes.
All right. I took my daughter back to college, back to Binghamton. My baby. She's such a good kid. It was cold up there, and we walked around campus
Binghamton.
yesterday. I was almost sick. I was so cold and
Why
tired.
would you do that? Why would
Because
you
we
walk-
had to buy books, and we had to.
It's
Her
cold.
Italian book cost more than my first car.
How much was the Italian book?
$325 for a book twice as thick as this
Wow,
iPad.
Full of shit. Why is
She's
so
a smart
much?
kid, so she's it's going to pay
No,
pay
I
off.
told her
it's
drop
gonna
the
pay off
cost.
in the
I
end.
said drop the cost.
Good for
There's
you.
no way I'm paying for that book.
That's why.
There's a line.
Listen, this kid,
Education's
I-
$275. Okay.
I've watched
300.
this
No.
kid as a young kid sit in the Belmore Bean
I
during an
know.
open mic and do a homework with headphones on.
Headphones
I
on.
said, "What a good kid."
Yeah.
She wasn't goofing off with her friend. She sits there and does her homework.
No, she's a
And then
she's
Johnny
a-
L
I
picks
know,
her
I
up
met
and
her.
she does. Yeah, she's really. a
So
good
I
kid.
drove her back to Binghamton. I bought it. We went shop and we did the whole bit. I took her out to dinner, and then last night she stayed at the hotel the first night. Last night I said, maybe you stay in your room tonight because you got an early class.
$300.
I know. So she got sent. She called me. She goes, Dad, no, I'll come back. So we went out to dinner, and she stayed again with me last night. I brought her right to class. I walked her to class like I used to do.
Oh, you're going to make me
Oh,
cry.
I love it. I cried when I dropped her
That's
off.
so sweet.
I'm
She's,
glad-
she's such
Pretty
a
soon
good
she's
kid.
going to leave
I'm glad you
soon.
finally got over the meal
Olivia Lake.
plan. Now you're on to books now, but fuck few
Why
months.
did
you
you have to
were
bring
talking
up
about
the meal plan?
You know what Gilbert Godfrey would say? $300. Let go of my arm. I loved him in Beverly
So
Hills Cop 2.
last week I was in Austin, Texas.
Austin, Texas.
And our caller tonight, I met. Every time I do a class, I taught for Homeland Security. Great guys. What a great class. There was a number of female hazmat firefighters, and
Nice.
maybe I'm being a little, but I find in general, I shouldn't make this comment. I'm going to probably females are more detailed oriented. I find in general, when it comes to hazmat, some of them really get into it, and like the guys are doing their
Now
thing.
that's
but
an observation that you've made based
over
on
the years,
experience.
yeah, and
Right, not based on a predetermined stereotype.
No,
So
no,
then
and
it's a legitimate
there was a
observation.
few women in the class, but two of them in particular just blew me away with how into it they were,
Trying to avoid
how
hate
smart
mail.
they
Women
thought I
but-
was.
Oh, there you go.
They
There's
thought I was
where
very smart,
So they
Carol.
obviously weren't
Because
very.
I'm an idiot at home.
Well, yeah.
know?
Can
we
I
know
tell?
that.
Can I tell you a story?
Yeah, how long is this story?
30 seconds.
Okay.
We're done.
I
Okay.
met a
Sorry.
woman at. I covered the Eric Lindbergh flight in 2002. He took.
Yeah.
He recreated his grandfather's flight.
Hold on.
What?
Who did you cover?
Eric Lindbergh,
Who's that?
great grandson of Charles Lindbergh.
Okay.
Or
Interesting.
grandson of Charles Lindbergh. Anyway, on the 75th anniversary, he recreated his grandfather's flight. I was there to cover it for Aviation Week. Anywho,
Interesting.
so I met this woman,
He used to be a pilot.
Rosie the Riveter. So
Imagine
I thought it
seeing
was.
this.
Wait a minute, the
in the
real
pipes.
Rosie the Riveter?
So that's what I thought, right? I'm like,
She
oh my
would be
God. it's that-
9,000 years old.
Well, this was in 02.
Oh,
It
too.
doesn't
too.
matter. She would
No, she
still
was.
be
This
9,000
woman
years
was
old.
in her late 80s.
Okay.
So
Okay.
her daughter said, all the women back then were called Rosie the Riveter. She doesn't correct anybody though.
Oh,
So she told
okay.
me
For
the
her.
story.
Good for
But
her.
she worked on a lot of different airplanes, and
Mm-hmm.
what she told me was, when you know how the women worked on the line during World War II,
Yes.
they built the planes and everything.
Yes.
When the war was over and the women left the workforce, the plant managers preferred them to the men because their rivets were more precise and their workspaces were impeccable. They didn't have a lot of messy tools.
And
lost
why are you
So-
surprised?
I'm not
not
surprised.
surprised.
What I'm
No,
saying
women-
is
We
that
like women.
I'm
on the
not
show.
surprised.
I know you do like women.
We like women.
I'm not surprised,
No, no.
but I know that other people would be surprised.
Yeah, but like for example, just to go back to the show, when we filmed the show, half of my crew was female.
Right.
I had a female stage manager, I had a female director, I had a female warm up, I had female camera women. You know, and when the shoot went first of all better than I thought it would. It just and breaking down, like they went okay, clear, that's a wrap, and within an hour everything was done. You know, guys are a little more, you know.
Yeah, use one or two just as a
Well,
token
if you-
thing.
if
You know,
you
if you
look
want to
at
throw one
all
or
the-
two guys in there.
Like all
Just
the
don't
other
use
disaster
LaRocque.
movies, like with Charlton Heston, they always portray the woman. She's the flight attendant that can hardly turn the knob.
Right,
to
right,
tell,
right, right.
To turn the plane, on autopilot.
Yeah.
And
Right.
Charlton Heston's calling a honey.
Oh,
and
by the way,
sweetie and all these things, and now you have that woman that landed that Southwest plane.
Right.
And all those stereotypes are out the
I
window.
was told the other day that if Carol really needed to land a plane,
I would.
She could land a plane.
that they could teach us. Say Carol and I were on the flight together, and it's just a
Who
pilot.
said this?
Well, first of all, if
I
it was
think
just you and me, and you had to, I think I could do a better job.
You think you would do a better job landing
Flying,
a plane than
yeah,
me?
yeah.
I think.
I tend
Well,
to
because
agree.
I would be.
Come on,
screaming.
we'll arm wrestle right
I
now.
would be on the phone in the back, like crying and screaming. So you'd
Right.
probably be
I'd be
right.
like,
They'd
Google
say,
What are you
how
going to do
to-
if you go
I'd
up
Google
there?
how- I would
Both pilots had the fish.
Right.
What are you going to do?
Well, I sit up there with Carol,
And I would Google
and then
how
the
to
first
land
thing
a
I would say
plane.
with Carol is probably, "Who books that room?" Right? Comic. We do a little talking,
Right.
and they'd say, "John, let's land the plane."
Right.
So then we would both grab the thingies.
And we would Google.
Why would you both grab the yoke?
You know, they don't have an automatic pilot like on
They do.
airplane. Like on
No, they
airplane.
do.
Do you know Sully?
but the
no,
blow-up.
not the blow up one.
Sully was on automatic pilot when he took off.
No, the
Well, how come
co-pilot.
he said, "Give me the plane back"?
The co-pilot was flying,
Oh,
and then
That's
he
why I
said
said
my
that.
airplane.
My
which is-
airplane.
which is
He's
standard
big into this. He's
phraseology.
Big into this.
I get
Which
it.
is
Very big into
standard
planes,
phraseology to take up. No, here's what you do.
To the point where you may snooze.
If
Are we
you go
talking
up into
about,
the
Are we going
cockpit,
to talk about him?
if you go in the cockpit and both pilots are incapacitated,
Right.
here's what you do. You tune 121.5. That's the emergency frequency. You say, help, the pilots are incapacitated. This is flight 1234. We need help. Then you squawk 7700 and the transponder hit ident. You're going to blow up on the radar screen as a large emergency. Like
Won't
you-
they
like-
Very
talk you
good
through
for
it.
everyone. Wait a minute. For our listening audiences, you
Yes.
just learned
Well, here's
something
why
that's very
I know
important.
you can go through the whole
and
thing. I'm
they'll
not going
give
to
you the
remember.
instructions.
Okay,
but
but
the
here's the-
maintain altitude. That's the
Listen
big
to
thing.
me. You know we're going to Ohio.
Right.
You're not on the trip, and I apologize for that.
That's
but you
okay.
know,
Ohio's the most boring place.
Me, Aliva. Well, this is going to be. We do play at a 1,700 seat theater, and we're going onto the military.
Why am I not on that trip?
We may be able to add you. We're going on to the military base now.
When is the
Which
trip?
base?
The trip is in March. I forget the name of it. We're doing a private comedy club, military base, and then the big show in the theater. The guy said, don't book your flight. We may be sending a private plane.
Oh,
I could-
wow.
And then I said to Butch, is there only one pilot on a
Wow.
private plane?
Depends. What kind of
Wow.
plane is it?
I don't know, but if there's only one pilot, you're definitely coming.
Well, if there's only
You're
one pilot, I'll
definitely-
definitely ride the right seat.
Who? A Steve from Long Island?
On to talk to us?
All right, we'll
Do we
take
have
I
him.
think I know who it is.
Do we
We'll
have
take
people
him.
call in?
Yeah, it's
Oh,
Yeah, we have a
call in.
call-in.
take him, we'll
call-in
take him
line
right
and
now.
everything.
Number.
This is like FAN over here.
Yeah, Steve, this is Laughter Saves Lives Live with Carol Montgomery tonight.
Well, let me tell you something.
Oh, it's,
Yes, sir.
Comedy
oh,
royalty on that show for the first time.
You should be here, Steve,
It's
in
none,
this chair.
and it's none of you three guys. It's the young lady, Carol, second to the left.
Yes.
Second to the left.
He said you'll
his-
comment.
Hold on, we're
comedy
trying to
royalty.
figure out second to the left.
It's
Okay,
that
wait
way.
a minute. So what is what is going on?
Second
Let's
from
see.
the left.
Let's go a little further with him.
Okay, yes.
Steve, do you have anything else you want to add about the lovely
Well,
guest?
just first of all, $325 for a book,
Yes.
an Italian book, John.
Yes.
Which I find interesting. I'll give you $325 if you can show me an Italian with a book. Number one.
We're going to get a lot of
Hold
hate
on.
mail from the next
Now,
opponents.
my grandfather, by the way, slept with Rosie the Riveter, John.
But he said that all the women said they
They
were
were-
Rosie the Riveter.
right,
So you
only-
don't really know who it was.
Well, only one woman was in the ad, but all the women
Do
were
you know?
called.
Do you know Steve yet?
Steve Oliva?
You do know Steve?
Hey, John.
should be-
He's setting up
I
for a
know-
punchline
Oh,
here.
sorry.
Oh, sorry, we
Slept
set
with
him
her.
up for a joke.
Rosie
Sorry.
Steve,
the
go ahead.
Riveter. He was
Go
a
ahead,
chick
Steve.
magnet.
Start again.
So-
Sorry,
Sorry.
Steve. Take two. It's not live. We're going to
Go ahead,
take two.
Steve.
We'll edit it out in post-production.
This better be good. Go ahead, Steve.
I wish I could be there tonight, Carol. I'm glad you're on the show. You're doing a great job.
Thank you.
know, you're comedy royalty in my book. I mean,
Aw.
you go back that many years. Pips, legendary club.
Well, thank you. That's a nice compliment.
Yeah,
Do
I'm
you know
suffering from
Steve
PMS
outside
tonight.
of the
That's,
show?
Pat Marone syndrome.
His name. It's just
You
You
Steve.
probably only know the
But I
good
know,
comics.
but I don't know who. It's just he came on as Steve, so I know a lot of
Steve
Steve.
Oliva.
Steve
he's
Oliva.
one of our co-stars. He usually sits right here.
Oh.
Co-stars.
Co-stars. Yeah, we're co-stars.
Steve, what happened to
Hey,
the
you know-
Rosie the Riveter joke?
What's that?
The Rosie the Riveter. You want to finish that joke? Because I know you wrote it.
Well, no. I mean, she worked with metal. My grandfather was a chick magnet, so it makes sense. Now, wait a minute.
Oh, you see,
See
sorry,
what you cut
we
off?
screwed that up for you.
See the gem that you cut off?
I'm sorry.
God, you men.
So I went shopping today.
He's not
I was
done.
in Target, and
Yes, we're waiting.
well, she goes, it's right near the
He's
right
turning the
past
page.
the right past the pregnant mannequin. And I said, "Oh, Patty G was here already?
You can't.
Nothing."
Nothing.
But I
nothing.
don't know who
Give
Patty
us one
G
more.
is. I don't
Patty
know.
G is the guy who met
Oh,
The
so he
handsome-
was saying
the handsome
that
bald guy
he
over
knocked
there.
up the mannequin.
you. Yeah.
That wasn't very good. I'm sorry.
You got anything else, Steve?
That was not a
Carol,
good
I'm working
joke.
some bits
What's
out
the
on
Kinda
you.
calling
sucks.
number?
Give
Is
me a
it
break.
516? What is it?
I'm sorry, but it did kind of suck. Listen, hold on. I teach stand-up, so the first
Could
joke,
you put up the calling
He's
number,
an
Patty?
authority.
the chick magnet joke, that was a funny joke,
was good.
but that one
That was
wasn't.
yeah, but Carol, that was a pun. I'm better than puns. honest.
Well, not with that joke, it's more. I'm just saying.
Let me tell you something. Steve is always writing, and everything is not going to be a
Good.
home run.
Right,
Steve,
exactly. Listen, like years ago, if you know who the Marx Brothers are, there's
Yes.
you know,
Yes.
he did.
They
he
were around
actually,
with Rosie the Riveter.
Right, and they also
Carol.
probably slept with her. What? Yes.
You know, there was a kid in Baltimore. He got arrested for shaping his Pop-Tart into the shape of a gun.
Really?
A school kid, yeah. The liberal kid shaped his into a bullseye, and the fat kid ate his.
Oh,
Anybody
okay.
out there?
Okay, you know what?
no.
You have any openings in your class?
You need,
Steve.
you
Yes.
need to work on, puns are good. I love the puns. Now, getting back to Groucho, what Groucho used to do was every time they, especially during the live show, he would look at the audience. He goes, they can't all be gems.
No.
So keep writing.
And Johnny Carson used to do that too?
Yeah.
Steve, here's what I love
Carol,
about
you
Steve.
know, some
Oh.
teacher got arrested for a beautiful young girl got arrested for messing around with one of her high school students.
Right.
Pretty young girl.
Right.
Which is interesting. She was voted Teacher of the Year in 2018. If you ask me, if she keeps that up, she's a lock for 2019.
No, puns. Go
All
to
right,
the,
quit writing.
All right,
Quit
Steve.
writing. You're killing me. You're
Thank
killing
you,
me.
Steve. Thanks for calling in.
Take
Thank you,
Carol's
Steve.
class.
Stepfather's
Take my
a
class at
sanitation man who thinks he's
QED
a
in
mobster.
Astoria.
So I call him Don Garbaggio.
He's still
Still
going.
going.
He's still
Still
going.
Going.
He'll make you an offer you can't refuse.
Refused. Don Garbaggio. His uncle was a
Can I
garbage
do like
man.
Fred Sessions
That's
does and he just...
All right, yes. Can we? All right,
All
Steve.
right, thanks, Steve.
It's horrible.
All right, thank you,
Carol's
Steve.
got openings in a class.
Horrible.
I coach
Steve-
privately too.
Steve is on a lot of my shows, though. It's very funny. He
I
is.
know he is.
He does better than that, but he can
I
use your
know.
help.
Yeah, you
And
know.
plus, the phone connection is not great.
No.
I
it
wouldn't
wasn't
blame
the
it on the phone
connection. It
connections. They
the
just
phone
wasn't
connection.
a
I
stuff.
know he's a good guy. I liked the first joke he did.
I'm trying to help him
You
out.
should have stopped there,
We
right?
should have
Should've
stopped
stopped.
there.
Quick
Leave
call.
him laughing.
Quick call and Patty. Any? Do you want to add anything about any shows you did lately? Any experiences you had on any shows? Anything funny to add or education?
Funny,
or
that's
nothing?
just a regular show.
It's a regular
In the
show.
synagogue.
In the synagogue.
You did a show in a synagogue?
Just in the
That's
synagogue.
always
No, it
fun.
was very good.
That's always.
I've
show.
done
We had a lot of
shows in
fun.
synagogues.
It was
as
a reform
Catholic
synagogue. It
Italian
was a
man.
reform synagogue.
Okay, what does that mean?
And the rabbis were two women. They were married.
Uh-huh.
Oh.
Yeah,
Very
yeah.
a reformed
nice,
is
yeah.
very.
Because the funny part
Hip-
is,
hip and
we
happening.
were standing out there after the show, and I didn't know it was the rabbi. So the woman was shaking her hands. I said, "We're just out here trying to get Manny a date." And she goes, "Well, I'm married already. I'm the rabbi." I go, "Oh," and she was married to another woman.
Wow.
See, we're very
Yeah.
Jews are very open about. But speaking of that, I have to tell you a great story about. So, do you know Leanne Lord? I think you must know.
Sure, we
Leanne.
know
Okay.
Leanne Lord.
She's on my
She's
show.
on the show Friday night.
Right. Okay.
I use Leanne a lot.
So we did. We
She's
were
great.
doing
She's
some.
so smart.
Yeah, she's brilliant. And so
I hate going up it before her.
she goes in. I forgot we were at a temple doing a show, but before the show, like she does, Jews when there's food, just clear a path.
Looks like Italians.
Okay,
Italians the
free
same way.
food.
Yeah.
She'd never had that happen. She'd never been in this situation.
Oh.
And it was literally like so. But this was before the show, and they said, we're opening up the buffet if you want to. And when they heard that. They almost knocked her down. She was literally standing like this, going, "Oh
Was she
God,
doing her
oh
set,
God."
or she-
No.
Oh.
Wait. But she was like, "What's happening?" Like, because it was all Jewish women going, "Food," and like almost knocked her. She was like this. She goes, "What's happening? What's it?" It was one of my favorite.
I did a
experiences
show
with her.
in a basement in Brooklyn. I think it was a Catholic. I don't remember what it was, but it was all seniors. And I went up and I'm doing my set, and at that moment they brought out the dessert.
Oh, well, that's it. You're done.
And I
You're
didn't
done.
see the dessert come out. And they got up, and
Animals.
I
They're
thought to myself,
animals. Like they never
was
ate
the
before.
Social Security checks just delivered? That
Right,
was what
yeah,
it seemed
right,
like,
of
you know?
course. Oh, yeah. I mean,
And,
when
it was-
comes to
it was
free
crazy.
Food,
Now, you guys are all doing comedy a long time, right? When there's a dinner, don't you think the comedian should eat first so we could eat, get out of the way, and then get ready
oh,
for the
honey,
show?
you're thinking that's because they're professional.
Yes, I
Yeah.
think the comedian should eat before the
Of
people.
course, but that's not.
Yeah, but Lana from Coney Island wants to ask.
Oh, okay.
All right, just give us what tell Alana, just hold on one second.
Alana. But.
Sarah's
there's
supposed to
certain-
call in
There's
now, too.
also certain things that happens in business that we should be paid more. We should not only have the left side of the menu. That's killed many comedians.
What do you mean left side
Left
of the
side of the menu? Anything fried.
Oh,
You know what I
yes.
mean? Like so yeah, but you're absolutely
Pasta.
right. I was at a show one time. It was another one of these private all women things, and I had taken the train, and the woman was a bitch. She was just and she goes, "Well, we're gonna do the auction first, which is a death thing."
Right.
And I said, I was taking a train back. All the other women were scattering all over the.
Sure.
And I said to her, "Listen, I have to." And the woman goes, "I don't care."
Yeah.
So we literally, they told us to be there at 7. We didn't start till 9. Because
That's ridiculous.
Yeah,
I would
and
have said,
that-
no,
that should
be
do
done
your stupid
after.
auction after it so I can leave.
Let me tell you,
Right.
the synagogue we were at, they had great food. They had filet mignon, they had
Oh.
salmon. Everybody ate well
cheap.
before the show.
See,
I
that's
don't
nice.
know,
Class
That's
act.
nice.
Carol, I don't know if we told you, and Pat's aware. John has a tendency to get a little angry on the show.
He's very angry.
So tonight is his first night. We're trying to keep him calmer.
But
correct?
he's a nice man.
He's a
man.
very.
Thank
Oh
you.
no, no.
That's the
there's-
problem. Is
Has
that
Pick
I'm very
me
nice.
up,
He's a little
and he
uptight.
took
I
me
I
up.
dropped
nothing
you
to do
off.
with him being a nice man. He's a wonderful. I love him. Play tennis. He's my friend. But he tends
got
to get.
okay.
So
Tend to
tonight,
overreact.
well, he's going to do a segment not now, but he's
Yep.
doing a segment tonight to try
A
to
calming
keep him mellow.
segment.
Which will be what will that segment be? You're going to talk about tonight?
Well, I want a surprise.
You want a surprise.
All right, so
Surprise.
let's get,
Could
we
I-
have somebody on.
Yeah, let's get
wait,
Alana.
wait, before we get
Let's
to
get
her,
Alana.
I want on this topic about food. I just want to tell a quick story.
Can we just get? I don't
No,
want
no,
to keep
we got a guest
Alana
on the
hold.
phone.
She can hold.
See, we can't
See,
do
that
that.
you're
to
very
him. See,
dis-
that's the
But this is the
problem.
end of
mean
the,
to
no.
the
But this is the
guests.
this is what I'm trying to do. This is the end of the segment about comedians.
All right, go ahead.
and
But
eating.
Alana's
So it's-
going, I don't want to hold. I want,
Alana will wait. We're the
You can
stars of the
push
show.
him.
Alana,
If
please-
you ever
please
run
hold.
into him, you
We
can
You
just-
think
Please hold.
Francesa puts the
We just
caller
lost
on
20
immediately?
we're
there?
not
Wait an
Francesa.
hour.
That's the problem.
So Alana will just. We mean
Do it nice.
We'll be with you in a moment. We just want to finish this
Please,
segment in
please.
30 seconds. Please continue to hold.
There you
Was that
go.
better?
That was
Wow,
very
that was
nice.
Thank you.
wonderful. Very
Thank you,
nice.
Alana.
So I did a country club in New Jersey with a buffet. So I said, where's the comedian's table to this like maitre d' guy who was like a very high stress guy, and he's like, he starts blinking rapidly. I wasn't told they're feeding the comedians, and I'm like, it's a buffet.
Yeah, right.
It's a buffet. So I said, what if 2 people don't take any chicken, and that's enough to feed all the comics? So he's like, no, there's no food for the comics. So when I got up, I said, hey everybody, how's the food? I wouldn't know. Nobody fed me. I said, so if
you.
I pass out, just throw some salt on my face, or pepper rather, and I'll get up and keep performing.
Good
and
for
I could
you.
see the guy getting mad in the back. I'm like, it's a buffet.
Yeah.
None of
No, I
the
always make sure
comedians
my
ate.
comics are fed. Let's take
Terrible.
Alana.
Thank you, Alana, for
Hi,
holding.
Alana.
I hope Alana's more interesting than that story.
Welcome to Laughter Saves Lives Live, Alana.
We're happy to have you on the show.
There you go.
See?
Did Alana hang up?
Oh.
Alana's mad at you.
Give her John's home phone number. All right, Sarah's supposed to be calling you
I thought
now
it was a
too.
fake
I'm
call.
sorry, Alana.
We're sorry,
Alana,
Alana.
Call back, call
we
back.
wanted to talk to you.
Please
Alana.
call
He
back.
wanted
We
to talk to
value
you,
your
but he
call.
got mad
This
about the
guy is
food.
boring. He's uptight. He's talking
I have a thing.
You have
What?
a thing.
When George Bush recently died, and I was watching a special on him, and George Bush wore colored socks, different colored
Oh, yes,
socks.
he did.
That's
He did.
right.
And there was a
Sure
guy,
did.
a disabled kid, I think, that designed some socks, and he started sending him them, and he started
Right.
buying them. And it just clicked that I want to start. I don't have them on tonight, but I want to start wearing different. Sarah, different colored socks.
I have my colored socks on.
I think that makes
I
me
have,
feel peppier,
I have Mr. Met socks on, John. Look at that.
like wild colors.
No, cocaine would make you feel peppier.
Okay, all
All
right.
right.
I just think that's an
Let's
excuse
start.
because you get dressed in the dark and you probably put the wrong socks on. and
Sarah
that's
Coon
gonna be your
is on the
excuse.
phone. Hello,
Let's talk to
Sarah.
Mr.
Sarah.
Met socks.
Hi, Sarah.
Sarah Coon.
Yes, sir.
Hey.
Hi, Sarah.
All right,
Hello.
Sarah.
Hi, Sarah.
Before you speak, let me give a little introduction to Sarah. I had dinner with Sarah on Thursday, right, with your boyfriend. Thursday in Austin,
Yes.
Texas.
Whoa, I
Yes,
don't
sir.
like this story
Wow.
already.
Austin, Texas. On the first Monday, we went out there with the guys. I taught a class for Homeland Security at the Austin Fire Department and Police Academy, which is another thing, because every morning they were shooting. It was right here, the range, and I've never heard so much gunfire in my life.
In
They
Texas? They sell
my
guns
God.
and vending
Well, that's
machines.
Texas, that's true. But anyway, the class was wonderful. 3 days. And the first day we went out to this barbecue place, right, Sarah? What was the name of the barbecue place I told you we went out the first night?
You told me you went to Bill Miller.
Bill Miller's. That's the first night.
That's not where you went, but that's where you told me you went.
But where did I no?
Wow, she
then
knows
we
him better
then
anyway.
we
Wow.
decided where I
Wow,
went. What was
wow.
the place that I went?
You actually went to Terry Black's.
Terry Black. So
Well,
number
that's
one.
a close name.
Number
That's very
one.
close.
Yeah, you know, right?
It's very similar. Yes.
Okay,
Not at
number
all.
one, listen to me right now. If you go to Austin, Texas, and you want barbecue, go to Terry Black's.
Hold on a second. I'm just going to say this.
Yes.
This is going out to everyone in Long Island.
Yes.
They're going to leave Long Island to go to Texas.
You may visit
They may.
Texas.
No,
I'm
come
waiting-
on.
I'm
Come
waiting-
read
on.
Texas
Wait,
6
wait a
times.
minute. He just said, when I was talking about being in Manhattan, he goes, oh, how could you go, oh, Manhattan's so far.
But
This is the way
we're-
Long Islanders
we're
think.
viewed all over the world.
Yes, we have
All
fans
over the
all over.
world.
All right, so let's
Not
get
viewed
back.
in New
All
York. It's
So,
big.
so I said to Sarah, let's get together and meet. And I said, I want that barbecue place again. I love that turkey. She goes, which place was it? And for some reason, I came up with Bill Miller's, and it was not good.
I can
It
understand.
was not good. It was like a chain, right? It's a chain, right?
Now, why is Sarah
Yes,
on the phone?
it's a chain
Okay.
that
Let's try to do that.
And
Let's
really,
try to-
listen to me,
Wait,
Carol.
half of you
Carol.
haven't talked about my
Carol,
show yet. What?
that's why she was on the phone. Good night, Sarah. Thanks for calling. No.
Sarah, why are you
Here she on the phone. She is a Austin firefighter from
Yes,
Austin, Texas.
female firefighter.
And what is your title with Camp X? What is your title?
I'm the president, but I invented it so I can be whatever I want.
All right.
Good girl.
So she is the president of this camp. So when I teach a class, I always say to the guys, listen, love to come back to do a comedy show in memory of my guys and raise money for a charity. Memory of my guys that were lost on 9/11. We want to come out and do a show, and I try to piece 3 shows together. So they introduced me to Sarah, who was not in the class, and she is president of this camp, AX.
So you're going to do the charity benefit for her.
We're going to do it for this camp. Sarah, can you talk a little bit about the camp? And while you're speaking about it, we're just going to slowly throw up some of the pictures that you sent me. All right? Now, you won't be able to see them because it's a delay, I think, a little delay.
About 30 seconds.
Yeah.
Away.
So again, tell us about
just
the camp.
guess what
there it
pictures you
Tell us about the camp, Sarah.
Tell us about the camp, Sarah.
Okay, so I started doing a lot of work with the Texas Burn Survivors Society, which is out of San Antonio. It's about 2 hours from here, but they service burn survivors from the whole state.
Oh, that's wonderful.
And so my plan was when I first became a firefighter that I wanted to go put on my helmet and high-five some kids there at their summer pediatric burn camp. And the executive director was like, oh, that's great. Yeah, come on down. How about you start your own camp for the teenagers? And I was like, no, I don't want to do that. That sounds like a lot of work. And so here I am starting my own camp for some of the teenagers, and now we've started our own charity to get a whole lot of the firefighters down here. I know on the East Coast and elsewhere in the country that firefighters are really active with the burn community, but here in Texas we're not. And so I'm really trying to get the firefighters involved, and it's therapeutic for us on our side because we see a lot of these folks when they get hurt. We see a lot of these folks in fires, but we don't see either the struggles they go through on the backside, but also seeing how they can thrive and how wonderful they do afterwards. And so a big part of the burn community is these folks getting together with other folks that have been through the same things they have and having their buddies and having their friends. And they call it their burn family. And so we help these kids that are 16 to about 22, because several of them have had 70-some surgeries, so missed several years of school, and aren't even graduating until they're in their 20s, graduating high school until they're into their 20s. And so it's just to try to get them into adulthood, getting their friends together, hanging out, doing cool stuff they may not have gotten to do otherwise.
Well, this is right up our alley, what we're all about. We want to do shows that are affiliated with charities like this in memory of our guys that were lost on 9/11. So we'll start with a donation. Laughter Saves Lives will make a donation, but I want to definitely come back. And you have been like all over this since I left there, and have already done some really good work laying the groundwork for us coming back and doing a show.
Yeah, we're excited. We're ready to go. I've been telling everybody about you, so you better show up.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if I can come out for this, but I would love, I would, if you need anything. I know a lot of comics in Texas. A lot, the
fantastic. Okay.
And we're also going to go back to Dallas. Our friend John Solano, retired NYPD, so he's going to put a show together out there. And I already asked him if we could do the show for this charity. So we'll do 2 shows, and then we'll add another one somewhere in Texas.
I
I'm
love
going to
that.
just say,
that's
Sarah, you're in
fantastic.
San Antonio.
That'd be great.
She's in Austin.
She's in Austin. Okay. I would like to reach out to you off camera because I have some ideas for venues and stuff like that. Since I produce my own show.
Yes, and
but I can tell you how to do it in a way that it'll be 100% the donations will be towards you, because even though when people do charities, sometimes venues will be like, well, we have to charge you a fee, and this should be, everything should be free, and all the money should go to the charity and not to having to pay. Everyone should be donating their time.
That would be wonderful.
So I will reach out to you.
That's not, I'm not business, I'm a firefighter, and so any help I can get would be wonderful.
Absolutely.
Yes, thank you, Carol. So tell us a little bit more about how many of the firefighters from, is your organization only with the Austin firefighters, or are there surrounding departments that get involved?
Right now, it's mostly kind of just Austin, our guys, but we called it Hill Country Fire. That's kind of the whole area that we're in, the Austin Hill Country. You said you saw a picture of our lake. So the Hill Country is the beautiful side of Austin. And when you come back down, we want to take you out on the lake.
I'm definitely staying an extra day or 2.
We really want to get the whole area involved, because these kids come from either they were burned in the state of Texas or they were treated in the state of Texas, because we have some pretty good pediatric burn hospitals. And so the kids come from everywhere, and we want all firefighters in the area to be involved.
Just so you know, some people already on my feed want to know where to donate. So that's. Do you have a place that they can go to donate money to the charity?
It's a very long website, but it's hillcountryfirefighterburnfund.org, and I can type that in here.
Type it in the comments on our
Yeah, if you
live
could type
feed.
it into the
great.
live comments, so this way the people will, and then I will make sure that everyone who asked can donate.
Awesome. Sarah,
that's
stay on the
fantastic.
phone. Can we do our Life Act commercial? All right,
can hear
we're
us.
going to do a commercial, and then we'll come right back to you, Sarah.
They can hear us during the
All
commercial.
right, sounds good.
I don't believe that.
Parents, please listen. This is a LifeVac. It's easy to use and can save a life in an airway emergency. LifeVac is proven to save lives, and it's as simple as place, push, pull. I've had one in my kitchen and one in my car for years, and you should have one in yours. Choking is a leading cause of death. 5,000 people a year die from choking, one child every 5 days, and it can happen in just 4 minutes. There's no time to wait. If you have children in your home, please consider your LifeVac today.
And we're back with Sarah
back.
Kuhn from Austin, Texas.
Sarah.
Hello.
Sarah.
Camp Axe. Sarah, when is your next weekend with them, or week? What do you do, a week at a time?
We do. Our big camp is in November, so we just finished 2018.
Okay.
But then our little kids will be this summer.
All
And
right.
So we kind of have fundraisers throughout the year for these two very, very big weeks that we have with the two different sets of kids.
All right. So I'll give your contact information to Carol.
Yes.
We're gonna use Carol. Any help she can give us to produce the show, I appreciate it.
Of course.
And moving
That's
forward, because you
fantastic.
know we're trying to, I don't want to say run on your coattails, but I really, I really respect what you're doing, and,
Thank
we
you.
want to do,
Thank
you
you.
know what we're trying to do.
Well,
we're
can
not
I tell
getting
you
as far
something
as
about?
you.
No, well, no. Okay, first of all.
Well, let me get rid of. Let's
Yeah,
get
okay,
rid
let's
of.
go
Let's get rid
ahead.
of her.
Yeah, we want to get rid of Sarah.
Yeah, let's get rid of
two
Sarah.
minutes.
Get rid of
Oh,
it.
it's Sarah
I will-
Kuhn.
we
Get
will
rid of
con-
her.
We will connect off camera.
Yes. Is there anything else you want to add, Sarah?
I think a group of us are planning on coming up there to New York for your show in March. So
Really?
Ooh, that's awesome. Then I'll get
Oh,
to.
at
Hopefully,
Gotham.
I'll be.
Yeah, Sandy's on that show.
Sandy.
I got Sandy
Oh,
Gotham
great.
Comedy,
Sandy
yeah.
Ellis. Oh, she's
Yeah.
the best.
Oh, that would be
Yeah, I love
wonderful.
Sandy.
All right, so let's keep in touch, and we'll help you in any way we can.
Fantastic. Well, I look forward to it.
All right,
Don't
say hello,
worry.
say hello to your
Sarah.
boyfriend. What was your boyfriend's name again?
Brandon. His name's
say hello to Brandon.
Bill Miller.
Bill
Say-
Miller.
Bill Miller.
You forgot to mention the life
Hold
hack.
on. Hold
No,
on.
we
a
did mention
second.
Life Hack.
No, you didn't mention the 19 lives saved.
Oh, all right. Well,
And they're on Amazon.com. The shipping is $7.95, and you can get the life hack. 19 lives saved.
But I want to just say something.
Go ahead.
That what he did was that was what we call a callback.
Yes,
you know,
it
That
was.
was very good.
you know. Listen,
Bravo to
I
the
know
callback.
I've known you've seen our acts, but we know what a callback is.
I was
Sarah.
explaining it
Oh,
to the
all right, all right.
audience. Jesus.
All right.
Leave her alone.
She's
She's
a teacher of
She's a
comedy.
kid. I'm sorry, she's in a
This
teacher
guy's
mode.
nasty with the people on the phone.
It's
I'm a
nasty with our
co-host. I
co-host.
want to
She's a
talk.
professor of comedy.
I am.
All right.
I'm actually the Yoda of comedy.
She's Yoda.
I do.
All right, she needs only 5 minutes, so I'm going to let you do your
We
segment.
had to redeem us.
What?
so.
I'm going to let you do your segment now because she needs 5 minutes. She said
Well, let
maybe
me do
we'll give it
mine
10 minutes.
It's more interesting.
Let
to
me
let
do
her do
mine
hers
and then he'll
first.
finish it.
MCN Duck Cleaning is our other sponsor, Carol.
Oh,
If
there
you
it
need
is.
your ducks cleaned,
God knows I could use some duck
Sarah,
cleaning.
I was just saying.
I'm just saying I need some duck cleaning.
Matt is a wonderful guy. Donates back to the community. Very professional business. Really good guy. Restaurants, homes. If you need, it's important
You don't
as a
have the
firefighter.
commercial?
As a firefighter,
Your
very
pipes.
important. No, I don't have the
Clean your
commercial.
ducks.
We love,
Clean your ducks.
Maddie's great.
We're actually shooting a commercial for Matt next weekend.
Yes.
Next
I think
weekend.
February 2nd, yeah.
Early Sunday morning, Patty. Early Sunday morning, show up.
Lana back from, not Alana, Alana back
Okay,
from
let's get Lana back
Okay.
on.
MCM Duck Cleaning, 631-885-5736.
We gotta
Lana,
be
we got a
quick with
quick
Lana.
phone
Yeah,
call.
quick phone call,
Quick
Lana.
phone call. We apologize for you getting cut off.
Hi, Lana.
Hi, Lana. Hey, Lana.
Hello.
Hey, how are you?
Good. How are you?
Very good.
Good. I have a question for Carol.
Yes.
Hi. I think people tell me sometimes take comedy class. How do you know if you're funny?
Oh.
Lana.
Do your friends laugh at you?
Yes.
All right, now understand. I'll let Carol answer the question, I guess. But sometimes your friends laugh because they want to be nice. It's a little different getting on stage. Take Carol's class.
That happens
Hold on
to
a
John a
second.
lot.
Hold-
People
Yes.
laugh at him
Hold a
because
second,
they wanna be
Lana. Do you want to tell me? We let Steve tell a joke. So let me just see whether.
Well, Steve's all right. Go ahead.
Okay,
nice.
okay.
And Steve
Give me
wasn't
one
funny,
joke and then
so
we
let's
have
see.
to go.
One joke, Lana.
Okay. What you call unfunny Twitter bot?
What?
Russian hat.
You like
Pretty
that?
good. That's pretty
I
good.
think I know who
Could you?
this
We're
is.
gonna give you Steve and leave his phone number.
Thank you, Lana, for
Thank you,
calling.
Lana.
Thank you,
Love
Lana,
Have a
who
good
I,
night.
who I
Thank
think
you.
is actually the great Vicky Cooperman.
Yes, it is. Oh, very good.
Very
Mr.
good.
Ah.
So she's wait. Vicky is what? Is she Russian?
Vicky
She's Russian.
is so
Russian.
terrific. I
I
love
haven't
Vicky.
used Vicky in a long time. Vicky, please bug me. I would love to use
I'll
you
make
again.
sure we get on the show.
Her
She's
name
so
is
funny.
the great Vicky Cooperman.
Yes, the great
Very-
Vicky.
That was good.
Okay.
I knew
That
right
was
away.
funny.
Now
That
I'm
was
telling
Go.
my story.
Go. I know.
No,
Jeez.
because you
Uninterrupted.
No,
wanted.
go
No,
ahead.
because you
He's
wanted
a
to
control
talk
freak.
about
He's a
it
control freak.
Yes. Go.
because
Go.
of your because of what
Yes.
you're doing.
Carol has the floor for 5 minutes.
Go.
Okay. Oh my God! Now I feel like I'm in the Senate. Okay, so what I did, and people, it's really interesting right now because it's fascinating to watch people because for the people who don't know, I did this. I started the show in September of 2017, and just this past week we filmed a television special. So people are like, well, how did you do that? But you work very hard. You've got all. I mean, this is part of it. The branding.
Right. Right.
It really is about getting the word out. I see you doing this all the time. You know, and it's just damn luck also. But I literally, like, I'm not going to get into it, but people are like, oh, well, it's got to be easy, right? I mean, you just stepped in crap, right? And it's like, no, I've been working my ass off since the moment I came up with the idea.
Yep.
I work
and
on it
financially,
every-
I'm sure you've laid out a nice amount of money.
Yes,
As
yes.
I have.
And what people don't understand about that, people always go, oh, well, you know, I mean, I'm going to make so much money. It's like you put your heart and your soul and look, it's doing really well. Thank everybody. But
Yes. Very happy for you.
financially, you have to be willing to take that
Take a
leap
hit.
and just know that because when I pay my comics, like you do, if you don't make the money that night, you still pay your comics, because and we've all been there, where you go to a comedy club and the guy goes, oh, well, we didn't have it, so I'm only giving you half. And I'm like, no, you give me the whole. I remember going to a club one time where they said to me, we canceled the show. I said, I drove 4 hours.
I know, I've been there.
Give
Yep.
me my money. So
Yep.
maybe because I'm a comic, I know that that's important.
Like we were talking about before, the food.
Right.
I want to make sure they get.
I want my
fed.
money.
Right.
You put them in a phone call like De Niro and Goodfellas. I
Right.
want my money.
Yeah, you have to do that. But what really, like, it's so much work. And I mean, I worked my ass off. And I'm not trying to ask anybody to pat me on the back for it, but I have a
Pat
thing.
her on the back.
Thank you. I have a thing on my phone that says, decide what you want. And basically, I'll read it to you because I love this logo and I show this to everybody.
Pat patted you on the back.
Okay,
That's hilarious.
he did pat me on.
No, but it's
Pat
Pat,
patted me
yeah.
on the. Oh, stop. Anyway, here's what it says. So it says, decide what you want, write it down, make a plan, work on it every day. I see that every day when I open my phone
Yep,
up,
yep.
and that's what did it. You know, and there was some luck, and then I had friends that. You know, we all make friends in the business. Some people will help you. Some people will not help you.
These guys help me.
Right.
You know,
and
we help.
Of course. But here's the great thing, though, because I know that the show is taking off. And by the way, we don't have a place in Long Island, so any venues, theater-wise, that
Belmore
wanna
Theater.
come to me, please, because that's where we do best. We do best in theaters. I don't really like
That's
to do
what we
comedy
want to
clubs.
do. Yeah.
So, but it's such a pleasure to be able to, like, we've had people approach us. And people will say, like this woman approached me from Chicago, and she said, I want you to do my theater. I said, well, that's great. This is what I need. And she goes, well, I can't give you a guarantee. I can only give you a door deal. And I went, I'm not schlepping 3 female comics
Right.
to Chicago on the thought that we're going to sell out. No hotel, no food. Screw you.
Right.
But it's a great feeling to be able to do that now, because I know that the plan is that I want to have a show sitting in Vegas. I want to have a show sitting in Atlantic City, and I want to tour it. I want it
Good
to
for
be
you.
as big
You'll
as
get
Bill
there.
as
You'll
big
get
as-
there.
Yeah.
Lots of luck
You
with
get there.
that.
Yeah. And the special is probably airing at the end of March.
Where?
Well, I don't know if it's the end of
Where is it airing?
Showtime.
Showtime.
Whoa.
Awesome.
Wow.
And you had? Do we have any pictures? The pictures from Carol's show and the flyer.
When is it?
That wasn't
then we
Vicky,
get-
by the way.
Yeah. Huh?
Vicky just texted us and said that wasn't her.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
No,
Oh,
she's
no?
lying.
I have never known Vicky Cooperman to lie.
You did not. Oh, come on, Miss.
No,
Goodman.
do we have Carol's flyer?
Maybe it wasn't.
Yeah.
And there were 2 pictures.
Yeah. Fran Drescher was
Fran
on the
Drescher
show.
was in one of them.
She
no,
talked
no,
about
no.
it. So.
All right, see if you can find
So
those.
we're hoping that it's supposed to air sometime in March. We don't know when. That was.
Well, we'll have you back maybe at least on a call-in
Yeah, to
to
promote.
plug
Definitely.
it right
Definitely.
before it
And
comes
I'm gonna
on.
be picking up
And we'll
right
promote
anyway.
it too.
Right. Oh yeah.
All right,
But well, you know, what's really fun is we're in the editing right now, and we're trying to, we're going through editing, and we're figuring out pictures and music, and so it's a really fun process.
It
to
is.
You're
be
still
real-
editing and you're going
No.
live in March?
No, we're not going live. We've already shot it.
Shot
We
it.
No, what
shot
I'm saying,
it.
I mean, it's airing in March.
Right.
And you're still
Well,
editing now?
They just shot it. You
Okay,
fine-
we don't have an
fine-tuning.
wait. We don't have an air day yet. We had
Oh, okay.
wanted to do it in March. I should have
Okay,
explained that.
okay.
We don't have an air day yet. We were hoping for March because it's Women's History Month.
Mm-hmm.
So, but what happens is when you edit a show, the show now is in the editor's hands, and so we have to now figure out. We have pictures and we have music. That all gets.
Yeah, that's a big process,
Yeah,
right?
it's a huge process. So it's but
It's
as
exciting.
soon as we
It's
know
exciting.
the
I'm
air
looking
date,
forward to it. I wanna
as
see
soon as we know,
Let us know.
and what was really fun was, so Fran Drescher was there, and then at the end of the show, Renee Taylor was there, the woman who played her mom.
Oh, really?
Yes. So the reason we got page 6 is that after the show, I asked Fran, I said, look, after we do our bows, I really would love to introduce Renee. So, so after we do the show and everything, they call, clear and everything, and I said, oh, we have a nanny reunion. Renee Taylor.
Oh, right,
The
right.
audience went
Wow, that's so great.
Oh, that's
crazy,
nice.
and these were all. It wasn't just people my age.
Right.
It was also young people. Everyone with the phones and everything, and that's what they put on
My
page 6.
daughter's
Very cool.
14. She's a big Friends fan because she sees
Right,
them in
right.
the reruns and on the
Right,
Netflix
right,
and all those.
right,
yeah.
right.
Do you want to do your segment?
Yeah,
now?
let's
'Cause
do
we
my
only got a few
segment.
minutes.
We don't
Thank
have
you, Carol, for
No
sharing
problem.
So this segment was designed to calm me down. It's about pencils. How
that. John
pencils
has a tendency
are
to
made.
get segments.
Yeah,
So
John, you're a little uptight lately. I hope this really settles you in,
I know Butch is still on the phone.
All right.
Okay, listen.
Go
Take
ahead.
a deep breath and try to do
Go
it.
ahead,
That's
give me a
how
quick-
you do your stuff.
All right, so this isn't like
lighten
the
up.
typical story I do about aviation and bombing terrorists
gets
and
you
stuff like
all
that.
worked
right?
up.
You get us all worked up.
Very worked up.
Well, people that cut me off in my car and okay.
This is
Right.
So here's how pencils are made.
Pencils
Oh,
are
this
made.
is-
We
this is-
figure we give
Wow.
you this tonight.
Okay, how's pencils are made?
At
These
the
are-
Interesting.
at the slat factory, pencil stock is cut into pencil blocks, a bit longer than the normal length of a pencil. The pencil blocks are cut into pencil slats using specifically designed
No.
circular saws.
This is therapy.
Right, so this is
This is therapy.
like the flat
This is
pencil.
not Pat G yet. Wait
Right.
till you see one.
Then the cores are made, right? And this is how the cores are made. That's the lead part.
Very
so
nice.
I actually have a question.
Yes.
If the number 2 pencil is the most popular, why
Right.
is it still number 2?
Is there a number 1 still?
Why is it still number 2
Oh,
if
here
it's the
we
most
go.
popular
Stop
pencil?
it.
It's stupid. It should be the number 1 pencil. It's
Come
number
on, John.
1.
You couldn't get him a better thing like that.
Stop
I bet
it.
you got
we
stabbed with
tried.
a pencil when you were in school.
We
too,
tried.
right?
Stop it.
We
No,
tried.
I'm kidding. That was all staged.
Very good. Very
But
good.
I will finish
Let's get
this
Butch
next,
on the phone.
next week
Before Butch is going to
because
stab
Butch
us with
will
a pencil.
Okay,
explode.
Butch.
Butch is our tour manager.
Oh.
Butch,
Hello,
you're listening.
guys.
You're listening to Carol.
Yes.
I am listening to everybody.
Well, but especially Carol, because you have to take us to the next level with me, and Carol has a lot of good ideas that she's willing to share with us
For money.
for money.
It's
okay.
Yeah, because we've got tons of that.
We got tons
Hey,
of it.
listen, so do I. No,
Tons.
I don't. No, I don't. Of course I will.
I have to say something first.
I'm sure.
So John, you and I 8 years ago, you came to my brother's comedy club and you did a benefit show, right?
Correct.
And afterwards, you and I sat down and you told me, I want to do this thing. I have to do this for my guys, right?
Right.
So here we are 8 years later, doing our thing. Now, this girl comes on the phone from Texas.
Yes.
She's doing her thing.
Right.
I just have to say, and this is really, really, from the heart, how incredible first responders are.
There you go.
And
the best.
why I got involved in this in the first place. You guys all go out and you do your thing and you save lives and you help people and what do you do in your spare time? Save lives and help people. So that really, not to bring this show to a screeching halt, but this is really, it's what we do.
Well,
It's
that's
why
what you
we-
do.
it's
You
why
bring the
we
show to
do
a
what we
screeching
do.
halt. That's part of
The reason
that's
why you
part of
brought
what
the
you
show
do.
to a screeching halt, John loves to hear all these accolades. And you could probably go on for another 10 minutes.
And if
it's
you
not
shut up, let
accolades,
'em.
It's true. It's why we do this. It's why we do a show on Tuesday night. It's why we go out and we do shows on Wednesday
why I
and
slept from
go to Gotham
Manhattan.
Comedy
Right.
Club on a Wednesday night
It's why I
in the
slept
middle
from
of
Manhattan.
in the middle of March.
You can't hear you.
So it's why we do what we do, and it's why everything that we do is so important.
What do we?
So
Let's
hugely important.
All right, so I agree with you. We get more out of it a lot of times than they do. But what do we have coming up? We have any flyers there we could throw up also? Butch,
This has been maybe one of the most productive couple of weeks that Laughter Saves Lives has had. We're making huge connections. We have a fantastic relationship that we're building with next week's guest, Mr. Brad Axelrod.
Oh, he confirmed?
From Treehouse Comedy.
And this Friday, Butch, we're at Mepham Fine Arts and Performing. We're doing a benefit for them. We had them on here a few weeks ago.
2 weeks ago. We had
They're
her
shining
on.
a spotlight on the kids in the performing arts, and not only performing arts, the arts. It's a special PTA the high school started. My kids were in it, and we're doing a benefit Friday night. We got Leanne Lord on that show.
Who else
She's
is on
the
the
best.
show? Is John Santo on the show?
John Santo is on that show.
Who else
And
is on
Frank
the
Fiala
show?
and Leanne.
Is
That's
Muriel
gonna be
on the
some
show?
show.
Muriel's not on the show.
I need to plug a
Muriel?
show when we can.
What else we got?
And then Saturday, we have a show Saturday as well, don't we?
Wanto Fire Department. What are the flyers you got up there, Bobby?
You're doing Wanto Fire Department?
Yes,
Wanto
I'm on
Fire
the
Department.
Wanto Fire
Pat's
Department.
on that one.
That was my firehouse.
This is February 22nd. This is the first show of the Laughter Saves Lives on tour.
Nice.
Similar to Women of a Certain Age. We're going to talk to Carol more about this. We have a rehearsal for this show. We're going to do some banter, not only stand-up. There'll be a little more than stand-up.
Nice.
That's the idea. We're going to get up there before the show. The first thing we're going to do is talk about somebody that was possibly lost that we worked with that made us laugh or smile. A quick funny story about somebody that was lost, either a fireman, cop, military. We're doing the Monmouth County EMS March
That's
9th.
right, down the Jersey Shore.
Down the Jersey
Look
Shore.
at you with all these gigs.
Joseph Anthony, Peaches, and Frank Fiala's on that one.
Look at you just.
And then the
rocking
big
roll.
one, Carol, Gotham Comedy Club. We're working with the World Trade Center family organization, raising money for a few FDNY related charities that are taking care of our guys that are sick
And what
from 9/11
about
kids.
what about the big
20th.
stars we have at that show?
Last year, yes, we had.
We have Pix
Seinfeld.
11 evening news sports anchor Scott Stanford.
Who's going to be on our
And
board of directors?
Right.
Yes.
But
And
that- but you say
ABC
the
7
date.
meteorologist Amy Freed.
Correct.
But you need to
And
say
we are working on a couple of
March-
other special guests for that night as well.
March 20th.
March 20th at Gotham. It's going to be a great show. Get your tickets now.
And remember,
Yes.
if you're not on the flyer, don't even
Thanks,
bother
Bobby.
showing up. You're not getting
Well,
on the show.
Seinfeld showed up
John,
and they put him up last
John.
year, George Wallace.
Yes.
No, other
Oh.
John. Stop
All
it.
right, Butch, thanks for calling in. We got to
Butch.
wrap it up.
I'll be there to make sure that no one gets
let
on.
Carol plug her show. She wanted to plug.
Yes.
Yeah, Carol, plug
Yes,
your show.
So just very quickly, we are doing a ton of shows, but the next we have a monthly residency at the Crane Theater in New York City. But the big show that we're doing is September 3rd, Super Bowl Sunday, for all the ladies
Nice.
who don't want to watch football.
That's sexist.
Yes, it is.
This guy's always got to.
He's always got to give me shit.
Oh my God.
All right,
That's why
so-
I'm sitting between you.
I
okay,
know some
so-
great women football fans.
So here's who the show is going to be.
Go ahead.
Corey Kahaney,
Nice.
She's
Patty
fantastic.
Rossborough,
Beautiful.
Jay McBride, and Shalewa Sharp, and
Stop.
myself.
Stop.
It's an amazing
Too much.
show.
It's too much in one show.
It
Huge
is.
show.
And then we're doing a show in Los Angeles March 9th with Kathy Ladman, Felicia Michaels, and I forgot the other people because I'm old. Roz Brown and Bernadette Pauly. Go to womenofacertainagecomedy.com. It has all of the performers we've done. We've had hundreds of women on the show, and you should come and.
It's a great show.
It's
We're
a
at 30
great show.
seconds.
But also, support this guy and his Laughter Saves Lives, because this is an amazing thing that he's doing.
Thanks,
We want to
Carol.
support you. Look for it on Showtime. You're going to be on Showtime.
She's
I
doing
know
good
I'll
work.
be watching.
We'll plug that
So
as we
we
get
will,
closer.
as soon as we know the real date, because we've been bantering back and forth. As soon as we know, I will at least call and go.
Yeah, we'll
guys,
have you
here's
answer
the
the call,
date.
yeah.
Yes, we'll
But
put the
thank you
flyer
for
up.
thank you for having me on. This was fun.
Thank you, Carol.
Yes.
And
Thank
all
you
of
for
our
being-
shows are on LaughterSavesLives.org.
LaughterSavesLives.org. Go to the website. Support this. This is a great organization.
Carol,
you for
thanks for
putting up with
coming
our
out.
shit today.
Good night, everybody.
Good
We'll see you next
night.
week. We're
Thank
going
you,
to the
Carol.
Master Pink Diner. Good night.
Yay!
Good night.
I don't want to go.
Old leather gloves,
We only have to go.
we're slapping in hands. Popcorn and peanuts, we're working the stands. Pink cotton candy, love on a stick. Was chasing the beer that circle the lips. Play ball, play ball. Roll up the bases and smack it right over the wall.
Play ball.
Play ball. Take off the caps. Time for the song.